Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner. We're here at the Tivoli Tap House, a great place to enjoy great food and even better beer. I'm Nate Lake, not a familiar face on this show, subbing in for Catherine today, but we still have Brenda Vazquez with me on the show for today. Brenda, how was your weekend?
It was good. I got to see some baseball games actually here at home.
Yeah, I thought for a little bit we weren't going to have baseball there when I showed up at the park on Saturday, and I walked into what seemed like a snowstorm, and then next thing you know, we've got this fog rising up off the ground, and we're playing baseball, so it was pretty cool. Brenda, how about you tell me who we have coming up on today's show?
So first we're going to start off with some softball, and we're going to talk to Coach Annie Van Wetzinga. Her team went on the road this past weekend to play against Skyhawks, and we're going to ask her how the trip went. We're also going to get into some golf. The squad just finished their regular season schedule, and they're going into the RMAC Championship in a few weeks. So we'll talk to head coach Stefanie Ferguson along with junior golfer Kika Dzoan. So it should be fun.
Can't wait to talk to everybody on the show today. We're coming down the home stretch for all of our spring sports, so just like baseball this past weekend, every weekend feels like it's the playoffs. Before we bring on our first guest, let's catch you up on what took place this past weekend in Roadrunners sports. The baseball team welcomed in Dixie State to downtown Denver this past weekend. After splitting the first two games of the series, junior left-hander Zach Sundine had easily his best outing of the 2019 season against the Trailblazers. The Aurora native hometown kid went a season-high 6 innings, giving up just 1 earned run on 5 hits to earn his first win of the year. He also struck out 5 and walked just 1 batter. The Roadrunners got timely hitting from Ty Lightly, who does not hit lightly, on the offense to carry the team to the 4-1 victory. The Roadrunners would split the series with Dixie State and are currently in the second place in the RMAC standings.
The softball team battled against Fort Lewis College on the road, and after taking the first 2 of 3 games against the Skyhawks, the Roadrunners put up 20 runs in the finale. The squad put up 11 runs in the 5th and 8 runs in the 6th to win by a final of 20-5. 7 different players had RBIs and 11 different players scored runs. The softball team is now 17-11 in RMAC play.
Awesome. Blaze Holland led the way for the outdoor track and field team, who competed at the Kit Mayer Invite at Colorado School of Mines this past weekend. The freshman ran a personal best time of 21.62 seconds in the 200-meter dash, which I believe ranks 5th in the conference. Holland would finish 5th overall at the event. On the women's side, Megan Renfro, and Jessica Stanton both ran personal best times in the 200 meters, while Bree Wellington broke another record in the high jump. But a big shout out to Tegan Guerin and Darren Harder, who competed in the javelin throw, the first time MSU Denver has competed in that event since 1986. I don't know about you, Brenda, but I was not even alive.
I know either. I wasn't even planned. How about a little tennis? Both of our men and women's teams came up with wins over Colorado College at home. The men were led by senior Joey Sherney, who railed to win his 7th straight match. Sherney is ranked 45th in Division II and led his squad to the 6-1 win. Alex Pessoa led the women to a 5-2 win over the Tigers. Pessoa won her single matches 6-1, 6-2, while also winning her doubles match 6-0, teaming up with Elena Steenberg. The two teams will head to Pueblo to take on the Thunderwolves to finish up their regular season.
So now we bring on our head coach for our softball team, Annie Van Wetzinga. Coach, back on the show for the 2nd week in a row. You must love being here.
Love it. Love it. Excited.
We're excited to have you back.
Yeah.
So our marketing services specialist, Rob White, who we all know and love, he's in attendance today, wrote a great story on senior catcher Jasmine Wessel last week. We encourage the audience to check that out, but perhaps you can quickly give us some of your thoughts on Jasmine, senior leader for the team, and how her senior year has gone after transferring here before her junior season.
Yeah, Jazz like I said, she was new last year. You know, and that can be a tough transition. She came from a smaller junior college in Nebraska, Western Nebraska, which is a strong softball program, and then to jump to downtown Denver and Metro, I think that can be a tough transition sometimes. And so last year was a little up and down for her. She was always very steady for us behind the plate. But you just see a difference this year, more confidence in her, a lot more comfortable. She's getting more comfortable in the plate. Unfortunately, she got hit by a pitch this past weekend, so she wasn't able to play the whole weekend. So we're hoping it's just a bruise and she's coming back. But yeah, Jazz she's having a strong senior year and showing some good leadership.
Nice.
Cool.
So before we talk about Fort Lewis, we want to talk about the Northern Colorado game that you guys had. I know you guys didn't get the victory.
Yep.
But how do you think they played that Tuesday night?
I liked our hitting. We had a, kind of up and down the lineup. We had some girls stepping up and getting some nice hits, and even some outs were loud outs, barreling up some balls. So that was nice. Unfortunately, on the flip side, we had an inning or two where we had some rough defense that kind of came back and bit us a little bit. But I liked our offensive stuff, and that's been more of our struggle, to be honest. Overall, I thought the way we competed was good.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always good to get some experience against a Division I opponent middle of the season, kind of switch things up a little bit. So right after that, it was on to Durango to take on the Fort Lewis Skyhawks for a 4-game set. Game 1, we saw another brilliant pitching performance from Darby McGee. I think it was a 2-hitter. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Nope, yep.
But how about that bat from freshman Lainey Shepard, who connected on her 2nd Grand Slam in 2 weekends?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. She would go on and have another great series at the plate. Is she starting to get comfortable at the plate as the season goes along?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is she's having a better approach, and so then she's having more consistent at bats. I really like she's getting better pitch selection. Before, I think she was chasing a little bit. Now she's taking more pitches, not chasing out of her zone, and ultimately just having loud. Even her outs were louder, like deep fly balls and. Before maybe you saw some infield pop flies or something off the bat kind of a week, and she's getting way more consistent with barreling up the ball, and it's exciting, and that's what you want to see from a freshman, getting better, getting comfortable, and and then with that you have the confidence, so you can kind of see her growing within herself, and that's why she's here. What we told her, like look to drive the ball, one of the bigger, more physical girls on the team and middle of the lineup, like you're a run producer, and she's starting to do that, and it's fun.
So your team took the first game 8-1. You would take the game 2 6-4 thanks to some insurance runs. You got into the top of the 7th, which ended up being needed in the end. How did that game play out for the squad to earn the win to finish out the Saturday's games? Yeah,
game 2 was tight. We were just like I said, we were putting people on base and not pushing them across. Again, nice. We weren't sharp, but we never kind of opened the gates and let them take total control of the game. So nothing seemed out of reach. And again, it was nice finally there at the end. We were able to separate ourselves a little bit, give ourselves a little bit of breathing room. Destiny Lopez came in and did a really nice job of keeping them in check. She pitched well this past weekend. Both days she came in and gave us solid performances. And like I said, both games she came in, we won. And what she did is she kept us in the game, kept Fort Lewis in check, and then finally, our offense kind of woke up and got us the wins in those games. So it was good.
I mean, that's all you can ask from relief pitchers. That's their job.
Yeah.
So the Skyhawks would take game 1 on Sunday, scoring 6 runs on 7 hits. The Roadrunners had 10 base hits, but just 1 run. The top of the lineup racked up 8 hits, but just 1 RBI. Was this just a case of not getting that timely hitting?
Yeah. I think early, this is a little on me. We ran into a couple outs trying to push some action. I just kind of felt like kind of got the vibe of one of those games we're going to try to create a little bit. We got a little aggressive, and to Fort Lewis's credit, they came up and made some plays. So that happened the first couple innings. But then, after that, we were putting people on base, and we weren't pushing them across, which hits are great, but it's really about runs. So that was frustrating. It was frustrating not to be able to start the Sunday off after the 2 wins on Saturday.
Right. And what you said about it's really about runs and not hits reminds me of something Coach Strain told me the other day. In the end, it's about scoring more runs than they do. And so if the hits don't turn into runs, then, that's kind of what happens. And unfortunately, that doesn't usually lead to many wins. However, in game 2 on Sunday, you mentioned the recap. The game 2 had a similar feel to game 1, but the team flipped the script from scoring 2 runs in 11 innings to 19 runs combined in the 5th and 6th inning of game 2. How did the team just flip that switch?
I don't know, because it wasn't going well. It wasn't feeling well. I mean, we were down 5-1. And obviously all day it hadn't offense hadn't really been coming to us. But I don't think anybody ever really pushed the panic button. Like I said, Destiny came in and at least kept us in a game. 5-1 is still very attainable. So, credit to her, and I think credit to just the whole group of nobody pushed the panic button, and then we finally kind of just settled into the box, and we were chasing too many pitches out of the zone and kind of not having quality at-bats. And finally we had some people kind of grind through some at-bats, whether it was getting a walk or finally some key hits, and that's really what it was. I think we started kind of taking control of ourselves offensively in the box, and good things resulted, obviously. Once we got it rolling, and I've been on the opposite side of that, it's hard to stop. And we didn't stop. We had different people then stepping up. And that's how hitting is, and I think that's what's been hard for us, is hitting's contagious, both kind of positive and negatively. But when it gets going, usually everybody relaxes a little bit more and can perform better.
It's like a little rhythm.
Yeah.
So talking about runs, those 20 runs were actually the most runs scored by the program since softball was reinstated in 2009.
Crazy.
Is this a sign of things to come? How do you keep this type of momentum heading into your next series?
Is it a sign of things to come? Well, I hope so. That'd be real cool, because that'd be something different from most of the other games, to be quite honest. So yeah, if it wants to be a sign, that would be great. I hope it's more of a sign of the kind of at-bats, the way we ended that game, that we'll take into the Mines series this coming weekend, because we need that. They have tough pitching and a really solid team, so we need to go in there with that kind of approach of grind through some at-bats, be tough outs, understand what pitches we need to attack, and then more likely than not, good things will happen for you. So I hope it is a sign.
Of course.
You kind of hit on it a little bit already, but we've got 2 weeks left to go in the regular season. Team is out there fighting for playoff seeding every single day, every game. What do you hope to see from your squad in the final 2 series of the season?
I think continuing to mature and kind of grow up, and we've had, like I said, spurts here and there, and we are a really young team. We ended on Sunday, we had 1 senior on the field, and so there's a lot of girls that are kind of figuring it out still, and then even some returners that are figuring out maybe how to help lead them, and so I just hope we, just focus on playing hard, playing 1 game at a time, and having fun, and that's how you get better, and that's how you compete. I want to continue to compete and not have kind of the roller coaster.
Right. Totally understand that. Coach, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Great luck to you and your squad in Golden this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Before we take our first break, Eric is telling us it's time to bring you our Tweet of the Week. This Tweet of the Week comes from our main MSU Denver Athletics account, where we featured Tabitha Porter, who earned the RMAC Player of the Week award for tennis this week. The junior went 6-0 from the previous weekend, winning all 3 of her singles matches and all 3 of her doubles matches. Porter came to the weekend ranked 48th in all of Division II and has her team still unbeaten in conference play. Great job, Tabitha. It's time for that break, but we're coming back with women's golf head coach Stefanie Ferguson up next on the Coach's Corner.
Family-owned Argonaut Wine and Liquor is Colorado's largest superstore. A fixture of Denver for over 45 years, Argonaut has always been the go-to place for liquor, wine, and beer. Whatever you need for that special occasion, big party, or quiet night, Argonaut has it. It's one-stop shopping for all of your beverage needs. We have over 40,000 square feet of space and more than 15,000 items. That's the largest selection in town at the best prices. Plus, we deliver, and parking is free. Join our preferred shopper program to save even more. ArgonautLiquor.com, your liquor superstore for every occasion.
We are student athletes from the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
Let's get real about mental health.
1 in 4 of us are currently living with a mental illness.
Let's have an honest conversation about mental health.
1 in 2 of us
will have a mental health issue during our lifetime.
Most of those who can get help improve their quality of life.
You can help stamp out the stigma
associated with seeking help.
Take the pledge at Stamp Out Stigma.
I'm Ashley Kim, senior second baseman for the softball team.
Have the power, they have the ability to do so, and the diving stop by Kim gets there in time. What a play there by the senior.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
so glad you're back with us on the show. But before we start talking with Steph Ferguson, our head golf coach, we want to remind you that the Tivoli Tap House will soon be hosting their next happy hour. Thursday, April 18th will be the next happy hour, so if you aren't already, you need to become a member of the Mug Club to really take advantage of those happy hours. Visit TivoliBrewingCompany.com, Tivoli Brewing Co., to find out how to become a Mug Club member today. They also have a same club, different mug membership that allows you to take advantage of house wine and cider in case beer isn't your thing. Again, visit TivoliBrewingCo.com to get all the info you need. We now welcome in the head women's golf coach here at MSU Denver and Stefanie Ferguson. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. We heard through the grapevine that you were golfing with women's basketball coach Tanya Have the other day. So we know that Coach Have was a great basketball player, a great basketball coach, and a great person as well. And I'll add to that, a great volleyball player at the University of Tennessee.
Not surprising.
Great at pretty much everything she does.
Yep.
What does her golf game look like, or is she amazing at that too?
She's got a pretty solid golf game. I mean, her low score is a 70, which is pretty impressive. Her height helps with some swing speed, so she can bomb it out there. Made a couple little adjustments on her swing yesterday, but I think she's looking pretty good. So
you're out there working with her and trying to fine tune it. She's not somebody who likes to just be okay at something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Getting the sense.
Little perfectionist in there for sure.
Great.
So let's talk about your last tournament, which took place a couple of weeks ago. It was a tough day one for your squad, and you were pretty adamant in saying that you needed to play better on day two. There were some things that you said to them to get them back in the right state of mind heading into the following day.
Yeah, I mean, the girls are capable of a lot better than what they shot the first day, so we just kind of went and broke down the round and talked about ways that they could pick up a couple shots. We spent a lot of time on short game and a little bit of time on the range after the round, just to kind of tighten things up and got them in a little bit better mindset for the second round, and they played a lot better the second day, which was nice to see.
Cool. Well, it must have worked. I mean, three of your golfers put up better scores on the second day. What did you think they showed you on day two, including from Sarah Hunt, who struggled in the first day, was placed 100th, and then jumped up to 74th.
Yeah, I would say a lot of short game just was much better. Their up and downs were a lot better. Sarah didn't hit a lot of greens, but she was getting up and down from everywhere, making pars, which is great. The other girls just managed their games a lot better, and their emotions were a lot better, and I think just got a little more used to the course. I think the second day is always a little easier because of that. I think it's tough because we fly in the morning of the practice round usually, and then it's a quick turnaround for the first round. So just let them kind of get settled and get comfortable with the course.
Right, in these two-round tournaments, you don't have a whole lot of adjustment time.
Yeah.
You got to do it once, then do it again, and then you're done.
Right, exactly.
So your squad has had 2 weeks between your last tournament to the upcoming RMAC Championship scheduled for this weekend. How have you kept the team sharp? Is it about rest at this point of the season, or is it about the reps and feeling good about your swings?
Yeah, we've just been trying to get on the course as much as possible and get them out there playing. You know, it's hard. Golf, you don't really get to practice the way that you play with a flat driving range and hitting the same club over and over. So we try to spend more time on the course, you know, get them on uneven lies and get them in those real situations. And then we've been just playing a lot of games, a lot of competitions within the team to put some pressure on them. So just stuff like that. Like we went out and played the par 3 course today and did some short game work. So just getting them out, getting them playing a little bit more.
Got to take advantage of every little bit of good weather that we get.
Yeah. Loved it today.
Tell us a little bit about the upcoming RMAC Championships taking place in Chandler, Arizona at Ocotillo Golf Club. Hope I'm saying that right.
Close.
When are you
Ocotillo?
Ocotillo. Okay.
It's close.
I'm glad we know now. When are you leaving, and are you familiar with that particular course at all?
Yeah, so we leave Saturday morning. We actually had conference there last year, so pretty straightforward course. There's not much to it. It's pretty short. A little bit of water doesn't come into play all that much, so it shouldn't be too crazy. It's again, just managing the misses and making sure the girls have a good game plan for the course.
So for your coach, this will be your second go-around at the RMAC Championships. What did you learn from that first experience that you will carry onto this weekend?
You know, last year the girls actually played pretty well, and we had the third round we came back and actually passed up a couple teams, which was nice. So I think it helps for me to have seen the course too, because last year was my first time seeing it. So just to be able to kind of talk them through, you know, where to hit shots and all of that. But I think just keeping them calm for conference, and, you know, it's a big tournament for us. We pretty much have to win it to have any chance of a postseason at this point. So just helping them to figure out how they can score best and put 3 good rounds together is going to be the main thing.
Yeah, and that's the difference. Again, 3 rounds as opposed to 2, but maybe that can help in a way, getting used to the course and just getting the reps. Yeah, and having a couple of upperclassmen out there too. I've done it before. Should help this time around for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, it's time for some Roadrunners trivia. We always try to stump a head coach with a question about their own program, so we'll see if we can do it with you today. Throughout the season, the coaches earn points, and the coach with the most points gets a prize. Coach Ferguson is in 7th place currently with 4 points, but you can move up with a couple points today.
Okay.
Are you ready for your multiple choice question?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Who has the best career scoring average in Roadrunners history, minimum 30 rounds played? A, B, or C? I'm going to give you an A, B, and C, so you don't have to just answer it straight up, although that would be impressive. Is it A, Allie Johnston, B, Jennifer Hankins, or C, Cha-Cha Wilhoit?
I'm going to go with C.
C, Cha-Cha Wilhoit is correct. Great job, Steph.
And we have a bonus question.
Coming through in the clutch.
Okay, perfect. Can you guess about where Cha-Cha's career scoring average lies? If you're close, we'll give you the point.
How close do I have to be?
It's up to Eric.
I'm going to go with
enough.
I'm going to go with 78.5.
You got the point. Yes. The answer is 75.90, but but you're close.
75.9. I mean, that's so we're giving her a 3-stroke cushion there. That's all right. We can do that.
Yeah, 2 points.
All righty.
Okay, cool.
So 2 more points to your total.
Sweet. Does that move me up in the rankings a little bit at least? Am I beating Tracy Soccer?
Who's winning?
Tracy Chow, which, if you know anything about Tracy Chow, she's not very competitive.
Not at all.
That's a joke. She's very competitive. So I'm sure she's going to try to get you back next time she's on the show.
Perfect. I love it.
Steph, thanks for coming on the show. We wish you the best of luck in Arizona this weekend at the conference championships.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We have to take one more break here on the Coach's Corner, but stay close. Kika from the women's golf team will be joining us next, right here on the Coach's Corner.
Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
Distracted driving kills.
What is distracted driving?
Distraction is any time you take your eyes off the road,
your hands off the wheel,
or your mind off driving safely.
Sending or reading a text
takes your mind off the road for 5 seconds.
At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the entire length of a football field.
Blindfolded.
It's extremely dangerous.
In 2014,
over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes.
Pledge to stop distracted driving.
Pledge to stop distracted driving.
Pledge to stop distracted driving.
I'm Jaron Taylor, senior forward for the men's basketball team.
And there's Jaron Taylor, so long. He muscles his way in for 2 points.
And you're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back, everybody. Before we chat with Kika Dzoan from the golf team, we want to remind you to pick up all your Roadrunners gear at shopmsudenver.com. It's starting to warm up here in downtown Denver. It's a nice and sunny 75 degrees today. So go to the website and pick up those t-shirts, shorts, hats, sunglasses, and more. There are always deals going on, so take full advantage, and cheer for Kika and the rest of the student athletes in style. That website again is shopmsudenver.com. So now we welcome in Kika Dzoan from the women's golf team. Kika, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Pleasure.
So I'd like to call you something a little different. I like to call you Kika, as you now know and love, I'm sure, because the kickboxing your team does during the season. So do you like to kickbox, and how does it help with your golf game? And also, don't comment on my kickboxing skills.
Oh, you guys miss out on our workouts when Nate's there. I'm actually more into just regular boxing. I used to do that for a while before our team started doing that together, but I think the whole turning of the kickboxing really has helped our game. My coach says I'm hitting further. I don't really think so, but you know, it's nice to think about that there's a chance that it's getting there.
I mean, sometimes golfers run into the stereotype that it's not it's not athletes, that golfers aren't athletes, they're just playing a game. But I mean, I see you guys kickboxing, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are athletes. Because I'm sitting here huffing and puffing. I went with the team one time, and they're still going strong, especially Kika, or Kika, as I like to call her. Speaking of the name Kika, not Kika, where does that come from? It states on our website that your full name is Jessica Haley Dzoan. So where does Kika come from?
Yes, Kika is actually, well, Kika is the Hawaiian translation. So growing up, I did hula and Tahitian, and I got that translated, so they gave me my Hawaiian name, and it kind of stuck. And my parents told me that when I was super little, I wasn't able to say Jessica, and I'd called myself Kika. So before we found out what the translation was,
that's awesome.
It kind of just worked out that way. Yeah. So Kika stuck because a lot of people can barely remember that, so I don't even try and give them that whole spiel.
So the Hawaiian way to say Jessica is Kika.
Yes.
All right.
Yep,
you heard it here.
Story.
That's awesome. Now every Jessica I know is going to be Kika from now on.
No, she's unique.
She is unique.
Yes. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you.
So this is your third season here at MSU Denver with the golf team. You hail from the West Coast from Tracy, California. Tell us how you ended up here in downtown Denver.
I know I wanted to get out of Tracy. It's a very small cow town, if anyone's familiar with the area. So when I came out to Denver, I initially had done some of my visits kind of all around. I went down south, and I was just like, I need something different. Was never a huge city girl, but when I came out and did my visit here, I just absolutely loved it. I was like, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably never be bored, even though I'll be busy with my season. Like, there's always something I can figure out in my free time. Yeah, and I absolutely love it. The only thing I have to really get used to is the weather. That's kind of killing me.
It's really bipolar.
But yeah, other than that, it's been great. I have no problem with Denver. I'm glad I made the decision I did.
Yeah, you gotta love snow one day, 80 degrees the next day, and then snow again the next day. You just really know what it's gonna pull. Never know what it's gonna pull on us. I believe, speaking of Tracy, California, that one of our men's basketball players, Drew Asa, is also from Tracy, if I remember right. That may be incorrect, but I know that one of our men's basketball players is from Tracy. So if you haven't talked to them about that, maybe you should.
Yeah, I haven't actually. A couple people have asked me back home. They're like, oh, have you met the basketball guy that goes there? And I was like, actually, I have not. But a lot of my friends, I think we have a lot of mutual friends at least.
Cool. It's crazy to make some cool connections like that here right in the middle of downtown Denver.
Yeah.
So it says on your bio at roadrunnersathletics.com that you are majoring in human performance and sport. Is that still the case? And what do you hope to do with that once you're done here at MSU Denver?
Yeah, so I'm still studying that, almost done. Next semester I'll pretty much be done with everything. So I'm hoping I can go into some kind of like social media marketing and or digital marketing, anything along those lines. I've done some stuff at the Olympic Training Center, so hopefully if I can get myself out there for either an internship or a job, that would be nice.
Well, you're getting closer.
Yeah, we're going with the flow, though. We're just seeing keeping our options open.
Yeah. So tell us how you picked up your love for golf. Was it because of your parents? Like, did they teach you, or did you try it in high school? Tell us how golf came into your life.
Oh my God, I always get this question. It's actually
because I know you told me you played soccer, right?
Yeah, I played a lot of other sports growing up. I never thought I would have like narrowed it down to golf. I started rather late. I was kind of sophomore in high school, I think. So it's kind of a depressing story. It's not like everyone's, oh, my grandpa got me playing or this or that. My grandparents did get me started, but they actually bribed me with a car. So yeah, they said, oh, if you start golfing, we'll buy you a car to drive yourself to tournaments. And being 15, I mean, what teenager wouldn't do that? Little did I know what I was getting myself into. So
they didn't get you the car?
Oh, no, I did.
Okay,
and then I finished out high school and then ended up playing in college, and here I am. But yeah, it's not the typical like, oh, cute, feel-good story. I got bribed.
I mean, that feels pretty good to me. If my parents bribed me with a car, even to this day, I think there's plenty of things I would probably do.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I definitely, everything turned out fine, so I'm not complaining about it.
And if you've met amazing people, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Golf's definitely opened up so many doors for me. I can't regret any decision I've made, at least with that. So.
And one of those doors is landing right here at MSU Denver. So how's your junior season gone so far? And what have you been working on, and how has Coach Ferguson helped you in picking up your game?
It's definitely been one of kind of our rebuilding years. We haven't been playing as strong as we normally do, but we also do have a lot of newbies on our team. I think we're kind of starting to finally get how to work together out on the golf course. Sometimes it's a little harder coming from an individual sport. Being able to play in college on a team is my favorite part, but I know a lot of people struggle with that transition sometimes. Steph's been great for me. I mean, my sophomore year, I was out with a back injury for a while, and so trying to like kind of regain my confidence in my game, it's starting to slowly come back, slowly but surely, and Steph's been great with helping me. I mean, it's always kind of hard, you know, when athletes get in that slump and you kind of just don't know what to do, but Steph's pretty much done everything right for me, at least, just helping me like see that I can still do this. So yeah, it's been great.
And sometimes when athletes like get injured, they even come up like better, right?
Yeah, so my game's definitely coming back together. I can see it happening. It's been a little rough for me a few tournaments, but luckily on those rounds my team's been able to carry me, so
we're glad about it.
It's been nice. Yeah.
Good. So this weekend is the 2019 RMAC Championship. How are you feeling about your game heading into the big tournament, and what has been the message from coach?
Not too bad. I mean, for her, she's always just telling me, like, trust your swing, trust your line, you know what you're doing. So for me, I know if I just stay committed to my shots, I shouldn't have a problem at this tournament. I also love playing back down in, like, the Arizona, California area, because that's where I tend to excel. Colorado normally doesn't do that too well for me. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know our team's playing really well right now. Our last tournament that we came from in Arizona, my teammates that's probably been the best they've played this year, so I'm really looking forward to it for all of us.
Kika, thanks for hanging out with us on the show. We wish you and your squad the best of luck in Arizona this weekend.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
It was fun. We appreciate it. Before we get out of here, we want to tell you what's coming up this weekend in Roadrunners sports. Baseball and softball teams will be on the road this weekend. Coach Strain's squad will be heading to UCCS for a 4-game set. That series will start this Thursday at noon and will finish up on Saturday before Easter. Coach Van Wetzinga's squad will venture to Golden to take on Colorado School of Mines. Play doubleheaders on Friday and Saturday, so make those short road trips out to Golden and cheer on the red and blue away from the Regency Athletic Complex.
As we mentioned, Kika and her golf team will head to Chandler, Arizona to take part in the RMAC Championship this weekend. The tournament will start on Sunday and go through Monday and Tuesday as well. And finally, the outdoor track and field will compete in 2 meets this weekend. They'll first head to Azusa, California to partake in the Brian Clay Invitational. That meet will take place on Thursday and Friday. Then the squad will head to Golden to get in some reps at the Mines Nature's Bakery Invite this Saturday. Keep up with all of our teams all weekend long at roadrunnersathletics.com.
Alrighty, well that will wrap up this week's show. We want to thank Coach Annie Van Wetzinga, Coach Steph Ferguson, and Kika Dzoan for being on the show today. For Brenda Vazquez, I'm Nate Lake, and we'll see you next time on the Coach's Corner.